back in the van for another work day.
Yes, so it's been a couple weeks. We did not go to North Carolina. Why didn't we go to North Carolina?
Because even in a rough state of functionality, that was not achievable.
We also decided that you were doing a lot of things that you were going to have to then rip out when we got home.
I started doing things that were like, well, I can temporarily do this so that we can at least take the trip. And then there was a lot of temporary that I'll have to redo, and that ended up being the final straw.
You don't have time to do this once, not to do it twice. But in the ensuing time, you got a lot done. Behind us is the head.
Yep.
Is in.
Yep. It is. We're going to have to do the finishing materials inside that today. The cabinet behind it is in. That's where the refrigerator goes, and then a top and bottom cabinet on the refrigerator. The bed area is cleaned up more, and the finished flooring, the vinyl plank flooring, is down back there. The bike rack is out right now for that floor to go down, so that bike rack will go back in.
And the electrical system.
And the electrical system. So the distribution for that with the fuse box is all done.
Okay, so here's the plan for today. We're going to work on the head.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll also interview you about a couple of the other close-up things you can just show. But for now, let's get to work.
Let's get to work.
All right. What are you doing?
Drilling the drain hole in the shower.
Because you got to fit this thing.
So I got to fit the drain in. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Good luck.
You see it?
Yep.
Can you get the vacuum out? Oh.
Yep, I can. Another day.
Yeah?
So, we're going to talk about the head. Right?
Right.
So this room has evolved in our thinking, right? So at first it was just going to be a place where you could poop in private.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Then it was going to be a place that we could hang wet stuff.
Right.
After rides. So that was like, oh, okay, so we'll make it waterproof.
Like even wash and rinse and so forth, wet stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no, then that it was wet stuff, maybe we would rinse it, but it would like drip dry.
Right.
Then you're like, oh, well, then it'll need a drain.
Right.
And now we're calling it the head.
Right.
In part because you think we're going to be able to shower in it.
Yeah, if we need to shower inside, we'll be able to shower.
So it has evolved quite a bit.
Yep.
So tell me what you did.
Yeah, so the shower, the casing is still a little bit of work in progress. None of the trim is on here. There's no paint or anything like that. So what I did for the floor is there's, besides the couple of the support pieces across the bottom, the floor is basically made out of XPS, extruded polystyrene. So the floor was built up with the XPS.
You built this out. You built this out there.
I built it out here. I built the cabinet out there. We then brought the whole thing into here.
Right.
And then on top of the XPS, so XPS is actually waterproof. So water's not going to go through there, but of course not just going to rely on the fact that water doesn't go through that. So that is when we used, you don't need to open it.
It's pink.
Yeah. So that's when we use RedGuard. Now, I actually used this for a bathroom remodel in the house years and years and years ago, and I opened this up to find the tub was still perfectly good.
Fresh, Barbie pink.
This is basically liquid plastic, and this is, as it says right here, listed with the IAPMO for use as a shower pan liner. Now that is like the International Association of Plumbers and Mechanical Operators or something like that. So we slathered this on. You were basically creating a watertight plastic shower pan liner in there.
But I'm going to back you up because before, so you built up the bottom with a layer of this stuff, but you were also concerned that it had ever slightly, so water could flow.
Yep, so it's actually built up of 2 layers of this.
Right.
So we have a base layer, and then we have a 1/2 inch thick secondary layer that's adhesive onto that.
and the very edges, front and back, are actually just slightly tilted up. And so that's to prevent water from pooling in the corners. So, I mean, the van might never be level, right?
Right.
So it's going to always be a little bit of an issue to get the water to drain. This is kind of a unique size. There was no pre-made shower pan of the size that we were looking for. But in this case, now with a slight bit of elevation on the sides, water will not pool in the corners at least. And then it's it shouldn't be really that much of an issue to just push it and squeegee it into the drain if need be for that last bit of residual that doesn't drain.
And that drain caused some crises of confidence because you had a drain.
Yep.
You drilled the hole.
Yep.
And you realized the drain
was not
long enough.
Not quite long enough by a half an inch.
Right.
And it was the longest one I could find. It's a stainless steel marine through hull port. Perfect for this application of a drain.
It allowed you to screw in the bottom.
To screw in the bottom.
And secure.
Correct.
So we had a moment where you nearly tore the whole thing apart to start again.
Correct.
We took a breath.
Yes.
And you found a different one.
Yes.
That gets...
But in this case, it's not screwed in. It is heavily siliconed into place.
To the bottom.
From the top to the bottom.
Okay.
Yep.
And then on top of all of that, you have actual tile.
So, yeah, this is just tile from Lowe's. I think it was Stainmaster brand. It is anti-slip. It actually has a really nice grippy surface to it.
Nice, right?
Really quite cheap as well. Yeah, I think it was $6 a tile, and we only needed 8 tiles.
Hold on, I'm gonna rescue the dog. What's happening? Come in. So you have the tile in, you have the stuff in, you've got the drain in, and then what's on the sides?
The sides, this is just very thin plastic sheeting with a slight texture to it. That's obviously waterproof because it's a big plastic sheet, came in 4x8 sheets. And then the back is a corrugated clear plastic sheet that let us put these dragonfly decals behind there. And that was just sort of done for a little bit of contrast between these whites. It's shiny. It lets us do a graphic behind there. Obviously waterproof, being a big plastic sheet.
Right. And I just did that with the Cricut and some vinyl that we had around.
Yep.
Okay, so talk to me about there's not really going to be plumbing. So what is the plan for the shower?
So the shower. We would only really use the shower
in desperate situations.
In situations where we would also use the outdoor shower. Right. So if it's a place we wouldn't use the outdoor shower, we're not going to use the indoor shower because there is no gray water tank underneath. Although that could be in the future if need be. So the water for this is going to come from the sink right across the way. So the faucet we got is a basically dual head. So one of the heads on the faucet is going to have a quick connect hose. So anytime we wanted to bring water into here, all we have to do is quick connect into the faucet. And then we're going to quick connect into a port that's up here, and now there's a shower wand inside here.
I'm going to use the word shower real loosely. It's more going to be like
shower loosely,
rinse
right.
off.
Rinse off.
Like
correct. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that'll have an on-off button, but you would set your temperature and your flow over at the sink.
Right.
And then when you're ready, you just flip the dial to the secondary line. That comes over here, and then when you want to use it, you can push that'll have a stop button on the wand.
Right.
Yep.
So the Boxio that's the composting toilet.
I am sitting on the Boxio.
So that is gonna sit nicely.
That'll live in there.
That'll live in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have to figure out how we're gonna do a door or some kind of closing.
We're thinking about the Nautilus style door that everybody gets, the pull out. A couple things on the Nautilus door is that it's either open and then it's not bad having this open, right? But yeah. Or it's closed and then it's
not very pretty.
Yeah, it's a little bit fragile with if you have all that closed as well. So we decided we really didn't need a full width door for this bathroom. So I made a partial wall here, and then we're gonna just have a swing out door right here.
Well, are we going to swing out door? Because one of the questions we had was if we have a ramp coming down here for Daisy,
right,
to get off the bed, and it's at nighttime when someone has to get up to the bathroom, will they be able to get in the bathroom with the swing out door?
Oh, all these logistic things, yes.
Yes. So we talked about whether or not it's going to be more of a
inside slide.
Inside slider. Yes. Right?
Right.
Well, thank you for sharing, Daisy. I know that you just want to go play, but now you came in here and you have to deal with me. So next up is to try to seal up the ceiling.
Yeah, do the ceiling. Yep.
And
seal up the ceiling.
Door and the finishes.
And the finishes. Yeah, the trim, the front trim, and the finishes.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing with me.
All right.
Okay, now you can be done. I want to see the box you in there. Let's see it. Let's see it. Daisy, come here. Come here. Nice. Well, there you go.
I mean, it's huge.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would go with huge, but
there is a ton of. I mean,
there
is. You're not like totally restricted in space in here. This is pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's exactly what it needs to be.
Yep.
Nice job. Okay.
Yeah, could have gone an inch narrower. No, not really.
I was gonna say.
Not really.
Out of the chaos, right? It's chaos. What do you think, Daisy? Yeah, what's in? Steven! Hi. So it has been well over a week since we recorded our introduction for our last update.
That sounds right on our schedule.
Yes. Yeah. So I think it's time. We've had at least one request for an update. An update. They want to know where the next video is.
Floors and more floors. Let's show them the floors.
Right. I have no idea what we said a week and a half ago. So let's go.
All right.
What have you been doing?
Floors.
Floors. Yeah. So many floors. Well, more than floors. Okay, let's start with what is this you have done?
So we put in all of the vinyl plank floors. So the vinyl plank floors are left over from an office renovation. So these were all free. And you know, one of the things is we really like repurposing, and free materials is always great. My only warning there is just make sure, is it really what you want? Because money put into or I should say materials put into the van that are not easily taken out are not worth it if they're free, if they're wrong.
Right, but these are cool. These are
great. This is a great
vinyl
floor.
plank.
I know that some people have said they come apart. I will say that this floor was a bear to put together.
They're high quality.
They needed a lot of the persuader hammer to get together.
And these are a little different in that they come in different widths. Like it's not and that's what gives it that very cool older look, but it makes it a little more complicated to put it together.
Yep.
So.
Yep. So
looks amazing. And then you were saying, what's going on here?
Oh, and this is just the front trim. This is the aluminum piece that came with the van, but then I actually took a piece of PVC lattice trim that I got at the dump when they have a building material section at the dump.
The magic dump.
And it just happened that it's going to be the perfect sill edge to now bridge the gap down because the floor is higher from where it was. So that'll get screwed in. And yeah, and that looks great down there. Floor went around our L-track, and then I get up a little bit of silicone, gray silicone in the seams to the edge, just so dirt and crud doesn't go down in there. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what?
And then we also got the vinyl plank in the garage back there. And then our head. So working on the bathroom / shower area.
Okay, and the garage has had some work done. So again, you said
the garage has had some work done, which was then ripped out and now being redone.
So many ripped out. Well,
Right.
okay, but we put the floor in, which looks amazing.
Yeah, we put the floor in. Due to the configuration of the bicycles, we're actually going to do a new tray. So this is one of the first things I did in a little bit of a rush because of an event we had to get some bikes on here. So we're going to redo the bike tray to better suit more of a variety of bikes that we might put in here.
Okay.
On the right-hand side, we had the water tank in. So those hooks down there are actually repurposed from the van. Those were in the back of the van as the tie downs, and those are going to be used top and bottom, keeping the water tank strapped down in. And then behind the water tank is going storage cabinet.
Cool.
So the water tank was basically ready to be strapped in, and had support boards and everything in there, started to go, and then decided that was not how I wanted it.
I think the hardest part about this is keeping you from ripping stuff out before you fully thought about whether or not it needs to be ripped out.
Right. In this case, it did. And
that case, it did.
In this
but
case,
you
it
were
was...
also going to rip out the whole head, and I'm glad you didn't.
Right.
So.
Right.
Okay. And then what's this over here?
And then we have the beginnings of the electrical cabinet, which has a slide-in front door.
Okay.
And the battery pack goes in there. We have a removable battery pack. So it's basically, I think we've shown this, haven't we? But
I don't know that we've I don't actually know that we've
There's going to be a port here for the solar. There's going to be one port coming. Oh, this port here just gets plugged into the battery, and then that powers all the DC in the van. Three AC cords get plugged from the battery directly into the wall here. That plugs the AC outlets in the van, and then shore power is going to be coming in this port here. The wire's already right in there, ready to go. That's going to be done via that's going to be done via a XT60 connector, and then the solar.
Yes, but speaking of redoing things, so we stained this.
Or I should say the solar is here with the XT60. The
Right.
AC is obviously a normal plug.
Right,
Yeah.
but we stained this with some stain we had around the house, and you think it's still...
Oh, it was the wrong stain.
smelly.
Yeah, it was not the right stain I wanted to use.
So we're going to try to strip it down and paint it and see if we can stop it from off-gassing so that you don't have to rebuild it, because I would like you not to have to rebuild it from both time and cost.
Yeah.
And then we're going to build all sorts of storage, right, around
And then all
the
sorts of
edges.
storage. Yep.
All right, so there it is. There is our update, right? What's next?
That's it. It never
So
ends.
many.
So many things.
So many things.
Yeah. The ceiling's next. Getting this water tank in is next, because once the water tank is secured and in place, I can then get the kitchen cabinet in and start running the kick plate in, of which the water lines will run through the kick plate from the water tank. And then once that's in place, then get the kitchen cabinet in.
Alrighty.
So, lots of stuff.
So there you go, our once a month update.
Yep.
Do it again.
Not gonna do it again.
How did this just go from like 40% to 20% battery? That's what I want to know.
You're right.